Bags down, spikes on. Welcome to the track. Hi, my name is Colin Waitsman, and I'm going to be your host for this episode of Track World News, presented by Track Barn. And today we have a very special guest joining us. She completed the illustrious 8 for 8 major championships with the NCAA coming out of University of Florida, your 4-time national champion, 2020 Olympian and national record holder in the triple jump, Jasmine Moore. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. As track athletes, we're going to be running tons of miles every week and can be really sweaty and gross after a hard day of practice, but those days are behind us. Manscaped just sent me their brand new performance package, which comes with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. Look, I've tried a lot of razors in my day, but the Lawnmower 4.0 is just different. Its ceramic blade helps reduce grooming accidents, LED light allows you to shave anytime, anywhere, and since it's waterproof, you can even take it in the shower if you want. When shopping with Manscaped, use code TWN at checkout to get 20% off your entire order, plus free shipping worldwide. Show up to your next meet looking good. If you want to be the best, you gotta look the best. Link is in the description, and now back to the video.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, no problem. And so before we get into many of your track accomplishments and how this season went, we first had a few fan questions and things that people wanted to ask you. So let's get into a few of those first. I think some of the names might be a little familiar, so we'll go along with them. First, we had Audrey Joseph, who said, what is a quote that you live by or is important for you?
When I used to do competitive cheer, whenever I was like in middle school and like elementary school, my coach would always tell me whoever works the hardest and wants it the most deserves to win. And so when I'm at practice sometimes and I'm like, you're really tired or whatnot, I'm like, obviously you just keep on working hard and like no one's gonna want it more than you. So that kind of just gives me hope for like a positive outcome.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, like there's definitely been a lot of times where I'm like, oh man, it's raining and it's cold and I just want to go home. It's like, but it's raining and cold for everyone. So go out there and do it.
No, yeah, that's definitely like the mindset. And that's what I think about when I tell myself that.
Awesome. Perfect. And then I think this was your mom, maybe Moore Trinette. I think.
Yes.
Yep, Moore Trinette. So she might be a little biased with this question, but she said, what and who inspires you to be great?
I would say there's a lot of like other athletes that I look up to, like Dindy, and then watching Javon do the double in the field events, and then obviously Dindy did both. Those are like two people that I watched and they pulled it off so well. So that's like, as far as athletically, that's who I look up to. And then of course I would say my mom. She's the reason why I started doing long jump. She jumped at Florida State back in the day, and so I knew that she did it, and so that was kind of like the motivation behind it all. And so yeah, I would say like her and my dad and my sister, they're all like really hard workers, and I guess that's kind of just where I get it from.
Yeah. I know, so it's been interesting. It's very different, but Mondo Duplantis, he said the biggest record that he broke was the family record and become the best pole vaulter in the family. Was that a big thing for you? Like, I want to, be a better long jumper than my mom there.
Yeah, definitely. I think her PR was 21.6. So for a while she had me and she was the best. So last year, whenever I finally beat her, it was like a big deal.
There you go. Yeah, it's nice to be the best in the household.
Yeah.
There. Perfect. And then this is from Coach Petersen. So he was saying, what is the best part about University of Florida?
Definitely the people. I have like some of my best friends that aren't on the team. They're in different sports, or the team here is really united. And I would say that's like a big reason why we have done so well this season. And I just feel like we all feed off of each other. We all want the best for each other. And so just the people have really made my experience here very smooth. And I just had a great experience so far just because of the people I'm surrounded by.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that was one of my favorite things in college too. Just having many of my best friends being on the team. It's like I'm going to practice, I'm going to work out, but you're surrounded by people you care about, which is always great.
Yeah, no, definitely.
For sure. And last one we got here. So it might be a short one, but Coach Lamont 958, he said, "Why are you so dope?" Yes.
I guess I would say, I don't know. I work really hard and I believe in myself. And then I have a great support system from Coach Nick to my family and to my friends. And I guess that's kind of the reason why I've done well.
There we go. Very, very humble way to put it. As well. So perfect. And so obviously right now, so you're competing with the University of Florida, but wasn't the start of your journey. In high school, you're one of the best, national athlete of the year, Gatorade athlete of the year in high school, and then going on over to Georgia. I mean, could you start off of where track and field kind of? Wait, actually, no. Let's go back. Let's go farther. You didn't start off as a track and field athlete. It was competitive cheer, world champion. How did you get interested in that?
Yeah. So whenever I was little, I lived in Kentucky. And so I did like gymnastics and all that type of stuff. And then I found out whenever my parents were moving to Texas, I was like, I loved the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And I was like, I want to cheer. I want to be like them. Obviously theirs is like not the same cheer in like type or whatever. And so my parents put me in competitive cheer and I was like really good at tumbling. Like I always had like spring and bounce and stuff like that. And so, and then in middle school, like I said earlier, I started long jumping because I found out my mom long jumped and I happened to be good at that. So I kind of stuck with that. And then the next year rolled around and I remember I tried out like the triple jump, like maybe like a week before our district track meet in the 8th grade. And like one of the guys had like taught me how to like do the hop, skip, jump, whatever real quick. And then I think I jumped like 37 feet on my first meet or something like that. And so after that, I just kind of stuck with that. And then I did like cheer in high school for like football games and stuff like that. But obviously that wasn't like my main priority, like in high school.
Well, dang. So you beat off of 1 week of practice, you beat pretty much my 3-year PR in triple jump. Just like that. So that was gone. So great to hear. Perfect. And so I think you're kind of putting a little bit like you got pretty good at cheer though. Like, am I correct? World champion? I mean, you didn't go all the way out, but you did pretty well for yourself. What was it like being one of the top in the world there?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, in that like time of day, like cheer was like my world. So obviously like back then it was like a huge deal to me. And it's still like such a big sport. I'm obviously like not in it anymore. And like being a world champion in cheer is really a big deal for like the cheer community. But so yeah, it was like really cool. And that was like the goal at the time. Like that was the peak of the sport. So like to accomplish, I guess, like the peak of the sport, like early on. And then I was like, okay, like on to the next thing was like, it was cool. And I was like happy about it in the moment. Now I don't like really care about it as much, but that's just because like I've moved on to track and that's kind of what I'm more passionate about.
Do you think any of the techniques or just things that you might have learned there have translated or helped you out at all on the track and field side?
Yeah, definitely like the coaching, as far as just like the time commitment. It was honestly like, I remember it was like more time consuming than track at one point. And so just like the discipline and then just the team, just having like a large team, just being surrounded by all different types of people, I would say like that's definitely helped me. And like even like that quote that I stated earlier, that was from like my old coach, that like they still support me and everything now to this day. And so definitely a lot of like good memories and a lot of good things have come from it. And I know like a lot of jumpers, pole vaulters, they all used to do gymnastics and cheer like back in the day. So I just feel like having those like basic like fundamentals have definitely helped in long jump as well.
Awesome. Perfect. And then, so then translated over to track and field, jumper, horizontal jumper, one of the best in the nation, committing to then going to Georgia. Could you kind of tell us about that time of, I'm sure your phone was ringing off the hook at being in high school and then, eventually, transitioning to the college ranks?
Yeah, so the reason why I had chose like the University of Georgia at first was I definitely like our recruiting class coming in. I remember it was like so good, and I just felt like this was going to be like the best experience of my life. And like, I don't know, I was just really excited, and I don't regret going there at all, because obviously the goal when I was coming into college was to make the Olympic team. And that's what my coach helped me do. And so I had like no regrets to going there, and it was still a good experience. Like, I just wasn't that happy there. And so I feel like you could tell throughout my performances, like if I was sad, then I wouldn't perform well. But there was like no making me like unsad. So it was just like not like being like, I wasn't able to do my best there and like really, I feel like thrive. And so whenever I saw the opportunity to leave, I kind of jumped on that, and very thankful to be here now at the University of Florida.
Yeah, and you brought your friend along with you, Anna Hall, and so we'll probably talk about your duo in a little bit as well. But you know, both of you guys competing at a very high level there, and then deciding to come to Florida. Was there much like discussion between you two of like, hey, we're a package deal, or did it just kind of end up that way where it's just happenstance?
It kind of just ended up that way, because at first I didn't even think I was going to come to Florida at first, just because I was like really homesick. And so that wasn't really a thought. And then it ended up working out that I was going to come here. And so after I like came here, like I texted her, I think, and I was like, if you come, then we can win nationals, and it could be fun. And it ended up working out where like, as far as like the school, like the academic part and the track part, just ended up working out the best for both of us. And so that's like the reason why we came, but it wasn't like a together thing. Like I made my decision, she made her decision separately.
Well, good thing it ended up working out for you.
Yeah.
The tweet that I had, you guys kind of blew it up a little bit with you got 38 points this week. So you guys did pretty well together over with Florida. And so you mentioned Coach Nick there, and I think he's been underserved when it comes to the as some of the legendary coaches that we have right now of just the talent that he's been able to produce with the with jumpers coming out of Florida. Like, what's in the water there? Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on that's making him breed all of these great jumpers from Florida?
I think he definitely, like, as far as confidence, he has helped me a lot, especially with the long jump. That was definitely like my struggle event. And so he's just given me so much confidence to like go out there and like, no, like you're going to win and stuff. And just like the way he works with us, like if I want to do triple jump one day, he's very like flexible as far as like how I feel and what I want to do and stuff. And so I feel like that's definitely like helped a lot. And then he just cares about us. Like, I know a lot of people may say that, but like he really does. And like his family and his sons, like everyone, it's like everyone's involved, and it's really special just to have someone that cares a lot about you. Cause obviously then I'm going to want to do my best, cause I don't want to let him down just because of all like he has done for me. So
yeah, like when you're a student athlete, especially at the collegiate level and at a level that you are, where you're going from December until June, like you spend more time with your coach than you do your family, like anyone else. So it's important that he's someone that you mesh well with, because you spend the most time with them almost than anyone else in the world for those few months.
Yeah. And it's definitely taken me a while to open up to him. At first I was kind of like standoffish. I was like, yeah, you're my coach or whatever. But like, I definitely feel like recently I have been able to, open up more of myself to him, which obviously is important. It just obviously sometimes takes a little longer for other people when doing a new transition to somewhere else.
Yeah, it's new place, new faces. It can take a little while. Speaking of that, new places, any favorite restaurants or places to go in Florida that you have?
Okay, so I started like getting into Yelp. It's not like new or anything. Obviously everyone knows about it. So like my friends make fun of me, like, oh, Jasmine will find a place on her Yelp app, whatever. But I wouldn't say I go to like this pizza place kind of a lot. It's called Medici's, and then Dragonfly here is really good, and they have good sushi. So those are probably like my favorite two, or like most popular two places I go in Gainesville.
There you go. You heard
Besides Chipotle.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's an athlete staple. So you heard it from the Yelp queen yourself. Try those out if next time you're in Gainesville. And so your indoor season really started off with a bang. Which meet was it that you had broken that national record?
I think it was like the second Clemson meet. So it was like maybe like Purple Tiger Invitational.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Early
but yeah.
So did you kind of like, when did you realize like, oh, this can be a pretty special season? When you were starting this year.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think I was going to break the collegiate record. Honestly, at all that season, but especially not the first meet. And so after, obviously I had been practicing well, but I didn't think I was in that type of shape. And so after that, I definitely had a lot of confidence. And then SECs, whenever I jumped 22 feet indoors, I had more confidence in the long jump. So after like those two meets that were like special in those two events, I kind of had confidence going into nationals that I could hopefully win both. And
I think your dad might have given you a special gift about your national record, a little, do you know what I'm like the little?
Oh yeah, I have it right here. Well, okay, so obviously like I was close to the American record, and so he had given me like this thing at SECs, I think, and it's just like the difference. Like at the time I had jumped 1455, and it's like 1455 to the American record, and he had did that I think my last year for the Olympic standard. And so he did it again. So hopefully one day then I'll definitely have the American record, but he'll just do things like that, like where I'm at now and then where the record is. So like, to like set me up, or like, that's the goal. So
that's gotta be so like looking at visualizing it like, man, I'm like this far. If I kept my,
yeah, I know. I'm like, dang it, Jazz, just pick your feet up a little bit longer. But I'll get it one day. So
exactly. Well, real quick with your indoor season. So I saw in your bio, you had your link to a vlog for SEC indoors. And one thing you talked about there was you had a test the day before indoor championship. So I got to ask you, if you remember, how did you end up doing on the test? What was it? I was dying to know.
It was like, I remember it was like one of my like easier classes, but I was just so stressed out. So I didn't end up studying as much as I should have. So I didn't do the best. And I remember I was like very distraught about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this was my A class. And I messed up. But then after that, I was like, okay, it's just a class. And then I ended up like doing well the rest of the semester. But I was definitely stressed out, which that's definitely the hardest part, is just managing school and track and just trying to balance it all.
Yeah, like you're in the hotel at what is, one of the bigger meets of the entire year.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to do this test. Like, could you talk about that balance of, how you kind of, make being both a student and an athlete at the same time at a high level?
Yeah, it's definitely like really tough. I just kind of have to like break it down and just like one thing at a time. Like this summer, I just finished my summer class, but like I was taking finance, and then I have an internship, and then like track is obviously like a big deal, and then just traveling and all of that. So I definitely do get overwhelmed, but I just try to break it up. I'm like, for this hour, I'm doing this. And then right after that, I'll do school, and then I'll work on projects for my internship. And I just try to break it down. And the coaches are obviously very supportive. I'm like, Coach Nick, can I use your office? I have a meeting. And then like, he's obviously like, yes, like whatever you need, like they're helpful too. And yeah, our academic helpers and everything like that are really great as well.
Yeah, it's like, make sure you find out that you can organize better than you ever have once you got the deadlines coming up.
So yeah, I definitely I will wake up like early 7 o'clock, and then just grind. And then after practice, I'm very busy right now with like everything, but it's good. It's a good problem to have. So.
It's a good busy. You got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So it's like, all right, it's a good busy. Something that I noticed, I'm not sure if you notice it that you do when you're jumping, but I was looking at a lot of your videos, but right before many of them, not all of your jumps, you do a head nod, and it looks like you say something. I don't know. Do you notice that if you notice you do that? If so, what is that a special ritual that you have before your jumps?
Oh yeah. I normally like I was doing it today at practice. Like I just sometimes I'm just like hyping myself up in the back and I'm like, you got this, like you freaking got this, like push out, like no exceptions, like do what you're supposed to do. And so I just kind of like try to hype myself up, because sometimes, you know, I can't expect like someone else to like cheer for me or like tell me I can do it. So I just try to like be that person for myself. And so normally I'm like, come on, Jas, you got this, you got this, you got this. And then yeah, it's basically what I say before I jump.
So do you ever start the clap, or you're just in the zone type jumper?
So I used to clap, but then I think one time I clapped like maybe like it was this season, I didn't jump far, and so I was like, okay, I'm not doing that ever again. And then like also I hate whenever I just hate when I clap and I don't do well, because then I'm like, oh, everyone was watching me. So I wish I could do the clap and like I want to do it. I just get nervous that I'm not going to do well if I clap. So then I just shy away from it.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. I was a pole vaulter in college. And so I would do the same thing. Like, all right, big bar, here we go.
Yeah.
And then you miss it. You're like, dang it, I look like I got the attention of everybody here. It's like foul. Yeah. Fantastic. So I feel you on that one. And so I guess a quick comparison, I guess I would like to have for you. So which was better, or which was cooler for you when you won the national title, whether you could say any of the ones you have too many, whether it's team title or individual, or when you qualified for the Olympics in 2021?
Ooh, I think, okay, definitely the Olympics, like nothing really tops that. Like that's like a special like moment in my heart, like forever. But definitely maybe not winning by myself, but winning with the team indoors was probably like a close second. Like that one was really special because it was like, those were my first national titles, first team title. And that was like really special as well. But definitely the Olympics was number one still.
What was it like, being able to crown yourself as being an Olympian? I know you got the rings on the forearm. Like, what's it when, I can't remember, because I know the weather there was wild. Was that one of the days where it was like 1.5 million degrees that you were jumping, or was that a different day?
No, we got lucky because we jumped in the beginning, so it wasn't as hot. But I just like was very emotional that whole day, just because I knew deep down I was gonna make it, and it's just like a surreal moment to like finally accomplish all your goals that like you have set. And so like I'm not sure if I did cry, I think. I hugged my teammate and I hugged Anna, and I remember like my parents were crying, like everyone. So that was probably just like such a like an amazing feeling, was just to make it, especially because after that indoor season that year, it didn't go too well. So I wasn't sure if I was still gonna make it. And so just to see like that turnaround and like how it just happened so fast, I was just really grateful.
Yeah, to be able to be like, oh yeah, I'm one of the extremely elite people to be. I know this year, obviously this past year was very different than many other, Rio 2016 and all that, because of, COVID and everything. But what are, outside of competing, and being able to, actually, be the athlete there, what were some of the cooler things from Tokyo that you remember and enjoyed?
Definitely like just the people. It was kind of cool. Like all the college kids were just like kind of hanging out with each other from like, obviously everyone's from a different school, everyone's representing different countries, and just being there, like to see the stadium and just to compete was really awesome. And just hanging around the village, we really couldn't do much, but just being there was honestly like really cool. And I remember I got back, I think it was like practice, like maybe in the fall. I was like, I thought Tokyo was so cool, and like it was such a good experience. And Dindy was like, yeah, the other Olympics was better, like we couldn't even do anything. And I was like, oh well. I'm like, well, I had a good time. Like I thought it was a really cool experience. But yeah.
It's like, oh well, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Thanks for
yeah.
There you go. And so you said in a close second was the women's team title indoors, and so really we could see, at least on the media perspective, that you guys were building something pretty crazy throughout the entire indoor season. It was like, oh man, this team's going to do some damage here. What was it like, when you guys, finally, come across, I think you guys might've had it won by the 5K or whatever it was, but what was it like, when you're finally crowned and you're able to hold that team trophy above your head?
It was really exciting. Obviously, like, I knew that we had a chance, but I don't know exactly what order. I think it was like the 60. And so whenever Grace and Samir, they had scored more points than they were expected, I was like, okay, this is cool. And then Talitha won the 400. And I remember, like, I could not even focus when it came to jumping. I was like, I think I passed like the rest of my jumps, but like, I was just so excited and like cheering for everyone. I was like, I can't even focus on my event. And then after Talitha, then it was Grace, and I was like, oh crap. And so that was just like, it was just so much fun because it was like everyone, like one after the, like another. And that was like the really like exciting part about it.
Yeah, it was definitely just piling it on, a lot of champions. I mean, do you guys have to add like an extra space on the flight back to bring all the hardware? Like, you guys brought on the men and the women's side, you're bringing them way too many championships. I don't know how that
Yeah, we had like ring designing this morning, and I remember they were like, oh, the box only hits 4 rings, and we were like, well, like this season we won 5. Yeah. So we're like, do we need another box? But it was just like funny to have like that problem like in one season. Like, it was just crazy how like amazing like the season has gone.
Yeah. And then want to flash forward here to this national championship. And so you guys once again, performed really well as a team. Could you share, your performances? I know the long jump and triple jump, there are definitely some pretty high value competitors, whether, from Texas Tech, all varieties of schools. Like, how are you feeling coming into this outdoor championship and competing here?
Yeah, I was definitely like, I would say more nervous than indoors, but like, I really did have like faith and like confidence in myself. And I would just keep telling myself like, you're going to win both. Like I just try to picture, like, I can't even picture like someone else like winning like in my head. So then I don't even like come up with the thought. So I'm like ready to go, And so that's like what I just kept telling myself like weeks and stuff before. And of course, like other girls were putting up like really big long jump numbers and stuff. And then regionals, I didn't really perform well at all. But I was like, don't count yourself out. And so luckily, I think I was like the second jumper in the long jump, and I jumped 672, which was my best jump. After that, I was like, okay, like now I put the pressure on everyone else to like kind of come after me. And so after long jump was over, to me, that's the more stressful one. So I was like, okay, for triple jump, just do what you normally do. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy, and like you'll win. And so that's exactly what I did. I didn't do anything crazy. My mark wasn't like better than what I had been doing, but it was enough to win. And I was just thankful for that.
Yeah, it was, I remember I was watching, so I was doing a little watch party of the meet, and I saw, I was like 672. They were like, what's the long jump, progression? I saw like 672 Jasmine. I'm like, oh, it's over. All right, game over. Like, don't count. I was like, nah, don't, no, I'm sorry. She's a winner. She knows how to do it. So it's like, thank you for allowing me to keep that confidence, not making me look like so,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So then this year it's been, I know you're an athlete right now going on, so you don't have to say anything too crazy, but from my perspective, the award for the Bowerman is on the women's side, one of the tightest races of all time right now. You have yourself, your teammate, Anna, Abby, Cameron Rogers, Julie, like we could keep going on of all the women that are extremely deserving of it. Is that something that you looked around, with just things going on, or, what's it like knowing like, oh, it's very competitive for, the top honor for college track and field here?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's a goal of mine. I remember I watched Katura win, and I don't know exactly year 2018, 2019. I remember like we put it like on our the family room. We were all watching her, and we were like really excited for her. And then I know Florida had a lot of other jumpers that have become finalists, and so of course that's the goal. I feel like I did my best this season. So like, if it happens, it happens. I would be kind of bummed, obviously, if it didn't, but like at least making a finalist, I would say like that's my goal. But I obviously don't have any control of it now. So
yeah, well, put together, one of the best years to be able to be in a good position there. How cool is it to see, you've got a lot of different, teammates that have been making, whether it's the watch list throughout the year or yourself. I know, you've been on it, obviously. Grace Stark, unfortunately, before her injury, Anna Hall, Talitha Diggs, there maybe even be some more. There's just been, too many. Like, what's it been like seeing, so many of your fellow teammates, and even on the men's side too, Fomboulin, on it as well. Like, what's that like, seeing how, the culture is kind of really, coming up there?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to like, obviously like have like some of your best friends. Cause like Anna and like Joe and Grace, those are like some of my best friends here. So it's like really great to just have good friends that, I mean, like we obviously all work really hard and stuff. So it's like really cool that all of us are kind of getting recognized for that. And so it would be awesome if like all of us were able to go and stuff. But yeah, it's just like really cool. And it's like fun to be on it like with your friends.
Yeah, we'll see if the Gators will be able to do a sweep there. So that'll be interesting. And so, with you upcoming now, you have, USAs and, Worlds, later on that year. Like, now you finished up your classes, like you mentioned, and you're really, doing the athlete part of the student athlete thing. What's the next few weeks and, months look like for you, as you're preparing for some of these big meets coming along?
Yeah, so like just this week has kind of just been like training, like getting back into it, getting ready for USAs and just kind of fixing what I did wrong at nationals. And so I'm going to try out for both and just hope for the best with those two. And yeah, I guess like after seeing how USAs goes, I'll kind of like pick up from there. But just like I said, fixing the things that I didn't do my best on at nationals to hopefully improve at USAs.
Awesome. What's the at USA's the distance in between long and triple? Is it like closer, or is it something a little farther away?
I'm pretty sure it's Thursday I long jump and then Saturday I triple jump, which is like the schedule I would prefer. I would prefer to long jump first and then triple second. So like I'm really happy with how that is, and then just hopefully give myself the best shot.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to USA's coming up here and the rest of your career. It's been awesome seeing this season really exploding for you. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Where could people go if they wanted to learn a little bit more about you or follow you on social media or anything there?
Yeah, so Instagram, it's Jasmine with like an extra E and then Moore. And then I try to like post on YouTube sometimes. It's like just something I enjoy doing. But I feel like you see more of my personality there. And just like, I don't know, the things I do. But I don't really post a bunch, but like hopefully I will, because I enjoy like videos and editing and stuff like that. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, glad that you like editing, because I hate it. I'm so bad at it. So we might have to, hire you as an editor there if you have fun with that. But thank you, Jasmine, for joining us, and thank you to everyone for listening. This has been another episode of Track World News. If you want more content, go and follow us over on Instagram at Track World News. We post almost daily over there, highlights, clips, things like that. That's going to do it for us here. Have a good one. Peace.